create another fable. You wanted to grab a brush and put a little makeup. You wanted to hide the scars to fade away the shake-up. You wanted to, why'd you leave the keys upon the table? You wanted to, I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide, I cry when angels deserve to die. My spirit, Father, into your hands. Why have you forsaken me? In your eyes forsaken me. In your thoughts forsaken me. In your thoughts forsaken me. In your heart forsaken me. Lost in my self-righteous suicide, I cry when deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide, I cry when angels deserve to die. And I can't break through. There's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it, but after all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one. Oh, do you believe in life after love? After love, I can feel something inside me say I really don't think you're strong enough. No, do you believe in life after love? After love, I can feel something inside me say I really don't think you're strong enough. No, what am I supposed to do? Sit around and wait for you? Well, I can't do that, and there's no turning back. I need time to move on. I need love to feel strong, cause I've had time to think it through, and maybe I'm too good for you. Oh, do you believe in life after love? After love, I can feel something inside me say I really don't think you're strong enough. No, do you believe in life after love? After love, I can feel something inside me say I really don't think you're strong enough. No, but I know that I'll get through this, cause I know that I am strong, and I don't need you anymore. Oh, I don't need you anymore. Oh, I don't need you anymore. No, I don't need you anymore. Do you believe in life after love? After love, I can feel something inside me say I really don't think you're strong enough. No, do you believe in life after love? After love, I can feel something inside me say I really don't think you're strong enough. No, do you believe in life after love? After love, I can feel something inside me say I really don't think you're strong enough. No, do you believe in life after love?
This is XboxEra. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support.
This is Console Wars the card game. Featuring more famous video games than you can shake a stick at, Console Wars finally allows you to win a war you've been fighting and probably losing on the internet your entire life. Quit being a keyboard warrior with the warm embrace of anonymity to protect you. Now you and your friends can fight on the front lines, battling for incredible franchises, exclusivity, and eventual victory. Collect some of the most famous video game franchises of all time. Protect them with loyal and frighteningly dedicated fans. Brave the volatile video game industry and claim the ultimate victory in the console wars. Your favorite video game making mega corporation needs you. Enlist today. Head to consolewarsgame.com. Pick up a copy of Console Wars the card game, outshine your rivals, and prove that your platform reigns supreme. Out now.
Everything Xbox Era does is only made possible by our community and the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our executive producers and MVPs are an amazingly generous bunch, only shown up by the incredible support of our grand benefactors, Cryat56 and Assassin Entertainment. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely Xbox Era CEO, Torn Raptor. This community is the best one on the internet, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra and pledge your support. Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Xbox Era Headlines. The date is May 13th, 2025. I'm Jon, and today Jesse and I will talk to you about all of the latest in gaming news from across that pesky video game industry. As a bonus for our Patreon supporters, we make audio versions of all of these episodes available for them to listen to via Patreon in their preferred podcast app. But if you're on Spotify, you can link your account to Patreon and listen to it there instead. If you want to become an absolutely awesome individual, consider supporting us directly on Patreon by heading to patreon.com/XboxEra. Jesse, how many times can I say Patreon in one sentence before it becomes a literal insanity?
2.
Fair enough. Lovely to see you, mate. Happy Tuesday.
Hello.
It's a far more mellow version of me appearing right now.
It's almost like something has changed for our look for a little bit here.
Yeah, the new sponsor with
Nick was fighting me on it. He was like, "No, we're sponsored by Control." I was like, "Nick,
yeah,
no."
Look, let's be real about Control. Right, let's just be real.
Great product.
This is the headlines show. Control's great if you like Control. The reason Nick wants to continue this sponsorship for Control is because he gets free Control out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't help the business at all in any way.
Right? So, yeah, welcome to our new sponsors and corporate overlords, Console Wars the card game, which is now available on Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk, which also allows you to buy it in Europe, and for the Americans.com allows you to buy it in Mexico and Canada, which is nice. Yeah, we're off to the races. It's out at retail, and it's been kind of freaky watching people buy it. All of the kind of research that I've done into kind of like, and this is behind the scenes stuff for folks watching. There's a lot of like what I would consider FBM and FBA, if you've never heard those terms, it's fulfillment by merchant, fulfilled by Amazon.
Hmm.
Amazon want you to use their services, and they give you all the fancy bells and whistles of like the buy now button and the featured offer and the Amazon Prime and all of that stuff that us as consumers really like. But what you don't know is behind the scenes, they charge you a lot of money for all of that stuff, and it kind of makes it a little bit unworthwhile. And I don't really want to give Amazon loads more money, so we've opted instead to do FBM, which is a huge amount of work. So the reason I have been like over the last few weeks was getting everything set up to actually work, and even at the 11th hour, like the American side broke like 45 minutes before go live, and I was sitting there on the help desk trying to get it all fixed. It's all working now, and everything's great and lovely, but it was a bit terrifying for a minute.
Yeah, those first 45 minutes of it just not working in America was like, oh, cool, of course.
Yeah, great.
Worked in Mexico, worked in Canada.
Yeah, it was. And, there are still some niggles. Like, there's a guy who's got an American address because it's a military base, but they're based in Germany. And Germany doesn't work yet because at the last minute, Germany were like, hey, the German government requires this particular code, which you have to apply for to adhere to governmental
German efficiency.
Yeah. Well, it's just another loophole to juggle through. So we've applied for that. Germany should be sorted by May 18th at the latest. And hopefully it's a lot sooner than that because our fulfillment partner already had their approved code for packaging and stuff. So all good on that front. Mohammed Shrez with a super chat. How are sales so far? Sales are okay and kind of in line with what I expected. The frustrating thing, and again, this is more behind the scenes stuff, and like this is definitely me empathizing and understanding what, from a video game perspective, developers have to go through. So I'm not going to name any outlets, but there are around 15 to 20 or so that, we were like, hey, we'll send you a copy. It would be great if you could cover it in some form. The embargo date for that is, funny enough, the announced date yesterday for reviews and bits and pieces and just general critical kind of like unbiased overview. And I'm frustrated that many of them just haven't done anything with it. And I get it in certain respects because it's a multiplayer game. It's physical. You've got to get people around. It's not a video game. It's not digital.
We've had that problem with Sunderfolk, where it has to be played really in person. Yeah. To
try out. Like I had a quick go with like 2 people, but it's hard to sit there and dedicate.
Yeah, because their PR was chasing like, hey, have you guys had a chance yet? And I was like, unfortunately, it's hard.
It's not tenable. And many gamers are introverted folks. It is where it's at. But I would say to anybody that has backed us or bought it recently in the last 24 hours on Amazon, please do consider leaving a review once you've got it in hand, obviously. Positive or negative, I'll take all feedback, critical or otherwise. Consider leaving a write-up and your thoughts on Board Game Geek. Consider sharing your thoughts on Reddit, on forums, wherever you can, especially to our Kickstarter backers who've already got copies in hand. Because, all of that it's all about word of mouth, and like I've had these moments where I'm like, maybe it's no good. Maybe I'm lying to myself, but I can't ignore the feedback I've had from many people,
myself included, because I am not a big card game person, and I had a lot of fun when we played it.
Yeah, and it's like even now 2 years later on from like starting and the early versions, nearly 2 years, it's like I still love it. I still love playing it. I still love messing around with it. I still love sitting down and having hour-long sessions with it. So, there you go. It's cool. It's out. I hope you enjoyed the ad. I was channeling my Matt Berry as best as I possibly could.
And we're back to normal look.
Yeah,
but we're still sponsored by Console Wars. And whenever I want, I can just bring it right back.
Ooh, it's good times. I love it. I love the new look. But No, I haven't sent one to Colin Moriarty. If he wants one, I would send one to him. Like his team, I think Last Stand Media does some game development, like of an indie nature.
Yeah, they published their ID at Xbox.
Yeah, so I'd be more than happy to send a copy Colin Moriarty's way. If he wants one, he only has to reach out and ask. And I think that's the other. I think that's the only other barrier to me is, and it kind of leads into some of the stuff we're talking about today, with independent media and stuff like Giant Bomb, which we'll get into in a bit. But there's this wonderful kind of like sense of companionship with certain indie outlets, and then you realize that sometimes they'll be like, yeah, but not you, because you're not in this club. And it's like, aren't we in that club? Can we be in that club? I think we've earned being in that club by now. And it's like, no, you have XboxEra in your name. That makes you not in the club.
Yeah.
And it's like that level of weird, like, oh yeah, but not you guys, kind of persists through it, which is, people are like, why is there Booth Babe Games on the box? And it's like, because I want to make that separation, because yeah, people are weird about stuff. There you go. It is what it is. But big thank you to everybody. And especially, I have to say, to the team, Jesse in particular, for carrying the torch for like the last, I don't want to say 3 weeks or longer. Mm-hmm. Like, I know in general, but like, while I've been like, yeah, okay, today is this and this and this.
Yeah, the views on the site sadly have tanked because I finally did slow down a bunch and haven't had an article hit for a bit. That's why if you like what we do, you really should, especially if you ever want Nick to join, because we're nowhere close to that. Go to patreon.com/XboxEra. If you're already a member, you can go to the /gift and gift memberships. Otherwise, there is also the PayPal, which is in the description down below. We have 2 things on one day, 4 things on the second day, 6 things on the third day, and 4 events, but like 7 games on the final day of Summer Game Fest. Days of Play, which is coming up next month, a big old preview event that the Keeley man likes to throw. That's kind of picked up the slack of E3 dying off. We are going there, myself, John, and Ursel. Hopefully, we still have to actually set it all up. Because it's real expensive. So if you can go to that PayPal link that's in the description, I'll throw it in chat. Anything you give, it's $1, anything at all. It really helps because we want to go there. We want to go to Gamescom again, where we are credited again, and do a lot more coverage this time. The first time was so much just getting to hang out and meet each other the first time, and really focused on trying to sell the Kickstarter for Console Wars.
Yeah, and running the booth was just like, it was such a full-time job.
Yeah, because I wanted to do streams and I had it all set up, but everyone was dead when everything ended. So
it is like you just have no battery left. And I've got UK Games Expo coming up in a little under 2 weeks, and that is going to be 4 solid days of craziness. And I'm hoping it's crazy as well. I'm a little like, we did enter into the UK Games Expo like judges awards, and look, I don't want to seem like some sort of bitter individual, but when you see like the nominees that have been nominated to win, and 3 of them in our category are Star Wars, Star Trek, and Lord of the Rings, you're kind of like, well, what about like the independent creator spirit? Like, you're just giving the awards to the big IPs. Like, come on. But I'm not bitter, because I love what we made, so it's whatever. Abdul114 in the chat is talking to Nisa, one of our YouTube members. We should make a digital console wars game like Balatro, but put it on Game Pass. I would genuinely love to get the opportunity to do that, but that is something that requires a lot more knowledge and know-how and skill and talent than I actually currently possess. But look, you never know. You never know what the future will bring, and if I can make that happen in some way, I would definitely be all over it. Maybe one day, we'll see. Anyway, let's talk all of the news of the week now that we've pimped out Console Wars a whole lot. Head to consolewarsgame.com/buy. Next up, Doom has entered its early access premium deluxe edition period before it comes to the rest of us day one on Game Pass plebs.
You say less of us, you have it.
Yeah, I know I have it, but I'm talking.
You were
from
handed the free edition,
view, man. Doing the Dark Ages reviews are out. It's done very well for itself. People can be playing it now if they've upgraded to the deluxe edition, and you can get that upgrade separately and just off of the Game Pass version if you want to save some dollary.
And unlike some of the other ones recently, it comes with content. It comes with DLC in the future.
Which is great.
Yeah, expansion.
We talked about Doom quite a bit on the XboxEra podcast on Saturday, but suffice to say, we're all quite enjoying it. I perhaps are slightly more muted than you and Nick are, but I've actually got further, and it is starting like to kind of click a little bit more. But I also did adjust some of the difficulty to make it a little bit more kind of like challenging than opposed to playing on standard.
I think the very base difficulty is fine, but it is on the easier side. But you can, if you just up it to ultra violence, it immediately becomes a far more difficult game. Also, once you beat it, you unlock instead of just Nightmare, there's Ultra Nightmare and Pandemonium. Ooh boy, that is every slider all the way to the go screw yourself side of things. So it's a lot. I reviewed it. I really enjoyed it. My guess on the Open Critic was 85, simply because first-person shooters nowadays generally can't break that 90 plateau at all. If Doom Eternal couldn't, and that was like the one everybody liked, it was pretty obviously this one wasn't going to, but it's still an amazing game. It's on early access right now. It's on Game Pass tomorrow evening. I think around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight Savings Time in the US. It can be unbelievably difficult if that's what you want. It can be unbelievably easy if you're Nick. I found easy to be boring as hell. I don't know how Nick plays it and thinks it's... Actually, I think I do. He's really bad at shooters, which is weird when you consider most of what he does is play a shooter. But he seems terrible at them. He says he's bad at Fortnite all the time.
I've realized as I've played more and more of Doom that like I kind of like I've got to grips with what not my annoyance is, but why I was like, and it was because I was approaching it like I would something like ultra gory boomer shooter. But Doom the Dark Ages isn't quite that. It's far more almost like an arcade game with the way you have to juggle and bounce and deflect and parry and all of that stuff, and getting out of the I was expecting this gore-filled boomer shooter mindset and into more of a this is actually asking a little bit of a different approach from the player. That is where I've struggled.
2016 was probably closest to that, where it was very much you got the super shotgun, just shoot everything with it.
Yeah.
Eternal was the exact opposite, where it was to defeat this enemy, you need this weapon. And to get ammo, you got to find a way and build up your chainsaw. Otherwise, you pretty much always just run out of ammo all the time. In this one, it's much more, we've got buckets of things that can do things, and you can use the thing in that bucket you want, but kind of in reality, everything can work in the long run.
Yeah.
There are just things that work a lot better.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope people are enjoying it. If you've indulged in the deluxe edition, I'm seeing in the chat people talking about how crazy Game Pass is of late. If you're an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, and we have been drowning. It's so much even for us as a site to keep up. With. Kind of
barely
nuts.
Able to keep up. I think I had Culebra for a while. Like I knew it was coming to Game Pass for a while, and because I had the code and everything. But everyone was just too busy to even do it, and now Cengiz has grabbed it and is trying to get it done for before it comes out later this week. I think it's later this week. It's just like there's just constantly so much always coming to Game Pass in general, and people used to always joke Game Pass fodder. It's like no, if you actually look at the outside of the weird ad Astragons edition of the simulator stuff, which will get a ton of play. So I get why. Like the actual Open Critic on everything is super high in general. It's like over an 80 average, which is ridiculous for a service that adds as much as it does.
Yeah. I'm seeing it in the chat, and it's not a super chat, but I know that you'll probably have a quick answer to this question. NC in the chat says, how would we rank the new Doom trilogy? So, where would you put them? Eternal 2016, And
Dark Ages, Eternal DLC, Eternal 2016.
Okay, and you're going to have to carry this because my doctor is calling me.
Oh.
I feel I should probably take this call.
Okay.
Carry on, sir.
Yeah, so they're very different in that they have pretty much reinvented each one each time, where Doom 2016 was getting things back, getting a feeling. People always talk about the music in 2016, but it was more the BFG Division track was amazing. But then in the actual base game for Eternal, there was that's when things were getting weird with the music, and Mick Gordon just didn't seem to want to use the catchy stuff very much, because I actually thought the mix was weird. I actually thought the music was better in both the Old Gods Part 1 and 2. But as far as overall experiences, how to play them, the level design, all that type of stuff, I think the Dark Ages is far and away the best one for the level flow. Like, as you're going through, as you're exploring, the mix of everything, the nice checkpointing, pretty much everything about it is just better. It's not that the others were bad, it's just they figured out what works, what doesn't work, and they got that balance a hell of a lot higher, because for a lot of people, Eternal was strictly a mouse and keyboard game, and it's really hard to play on the higher difficulties on a controller. It was built for insane twitch shooting, moving non-stop, dashing. Like, the moment you stop in Doom Eternal, you're dead. As where with 2016, it's just more, I'm gonna move a little bit over here, over there. There's no double jump in this game. It's all about the shield, and I think that allowed them to be a little more set in how the balance works, and it ends up just feeling better. And they also have good timing. They've got the dragon sections, which I think are really good, and they've got the mech sections, which are okay, but not long. Like, they're just giant and epic in sound and scale and everything in a way that really adds to it all. So for me, having recently played 2016, having played Eternal a ton, I can't imagine a Doom game without the shield now. Really, I'll be very sad if it's not in whatever the next one ends up being. So
sorry about that, folks. It was like, my doctor was like, hey, we'd like you to come in for a blood pressure check. I was like, I was there at 11 a.m. this morning doing exactly that. Thank you for wasting my time. Hey ho, there we go. Lovely. Well, yes, Doom, go play it. Fun times. Next up, just as a quick heads up, one of the other games that's come out, it's not a Game Pass release, but it is certainly catching a lot of people's eyes. I tried the Steam demo and I thought it had some fun to it. Is the Precinct, which is a kind of top-down GTA-esque game of old, but this time you're on the police side of things. There's some great stuff in the game. You can read the full review from Gyozo over on XboxEra.com right now. It's out today, I think.
It seems very European whenever I look at the faces, and I'm like, that looks like a Unreal or Unity store asset.
All of the kind of cutscene stuffs are kind of like, done with like comic book style, like stills, and then the rest of it. And I liked the driving mechanics and the police chases and stuff like that.
He was the same way.
Cool.
He liked the driving.
The busy work in the police station, kind of like, it was a bit of a slog. But hey, maybe it's for you. Go check it out. It's not a crazy expensive game.
Okay. Not bad. It's like in the low 70s, which I think is fine for a game of this scope.
Yeah, not bad. Next up in news, celebrations all around, and congratulations to our good friend Jeff Grubb and all the other folks at Giant Bomb, who have successfully bought their independence back from fandom following some PG-13 related debate at Giant Bomb, where everything suddenly went offline and people had left, and then suddenly Jeff Grubb and some of the others like Dan Reichert were like, hey, join us at the Giant Bomb panel at PAX, and it was very like a corporate sounding statement. The text was the same across everybody's socials. Is this just a contractual obligation? Surprise, they were the new owners. Like Giant Bomb has been a thing, even for me in the UK, and I appreciate for our US brethren, it's probably far more of a big deal. But even for me, as someone who loved video games as a kid, It's been this massive thing in this industry through all of the turbulence, and to see them nearly die once again and then survive once more to thrive again is just excellent news.
For the audio people wondering, they were clapping and cheering at PAX East on the video, so that's why I kept playing the
it was
audio.
really cool. I'm so happy for Jeff as well, like on a personal level. And like for those that may not know this, like if you've only been following or hanging out with XboxEra for like a couple of years or whatever, when we first started out in 2019, Jeff Grubb, when he was with GamesBeat, was one of the first folks that kind of really like came on the show and supported us and showed us some of the ropes and kind of helped us. And we owe him a lot for that. Like, you know, he didn't have to do that. He did that because he's a good egg. So always sending all of the love to Mr. Jeff Grubb's way. So congrats to everybody at Giant Bomb. Awesome news. And yeah, support independent media. If you want to support us, head to patreon.com/XboxEra. It's the best way to keep us alive and keep us breathing and keep us making, side note, more content than most other independent websites.
And I've said in the past, if we tripled, maybe we could get Nick, but it's probably more quadruple, the Patreon.
Yeah.
Because then that, just to have that and have that be enough for all three of us, it would have to at least quadruple. So please, if we could have 1/10 of our YouTube subs give $3 a month, we'd be golden.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing is, it kind of like, it doesn't rub me up the wrong way, like, because I'm always grateful for everything we get, but like, again, not naming any names, but sometimes I look at like another Patreon supported outlet and I'm like, you guys do 3 things a week and that's it?
Yeah, and if you go to the about section, you see
30,000.
Yeah, and you'll look and they've got like 7,000 paying, and we've got like 250. That's amazing. We have that much, but it's like, if only it was a little more.
Yeah, but sometimes, you know, slow and steady. I think the fact that we've still not slid into clickbait is slow growth, but worthwhile growth because the community we have are incredible.
Outside of Abdul, he likes the console warring. He'll just follow him on Twitter.
He does love the console warring, but he's got an outlet now. It's called Console Wars, the card game. He can console to his heart's content. It's all good.
That was us trying to pull people back from the precipice of going crazy on social media.
Yeah. Next up in news, I'm pleased to see this one. Fallout Season 2 production has wrapped and it's coming our way to be enjoyed in December. And even better, it's already been renewed for Season 3. I mean, this is delightful because I really enjoyed Fallout as a TV show. I thought it was excellent and brilliantly done. Faithful to the material in every sense of the word. And that universe is just so great for stories across all these different kinds of, in-universe bits that can be kind of tackled and touched upon. Will we see New Vegas? It certainly looks that way.
It's right in the teaser. Yeah, it's actually, they just show it, the profile shot of it again in the teaser.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, let's go.
They also did a teaser for Spider-Man Noir, which looked pretty cool. It's the Nicolas Cage Spider-Man from the Spider-Verse movies, but like his own TV show, shot extremely noir-y. It looked cool.
Love it. It looks fun. But yeah, like one thing that all of the other video game websites kind of picked up on was a small interview with one of the actors where they were kind of like, you know, they gave me an endpoint, said this person. And he kind of said, oh, you know, the show could go on 5-10 years. And that's the headline that everyone runs with.
A lot. Like
every website.
It was like when I did a Google search and a Bing search, they both had like 50 websites that covered it the exact same way. It's like, that must be good SEO. That's why we're bad at it. Because I just was like, I heard him say that and was like, oh, yeah, it's just somebody on a popular show wanting to make a bunch of money and being like, yeah, they told me this to go for a long time. It doesn't actually mean anything other than they've got plans, which is cool. But like a lot of shows have had plans and then they're just gone. So
Either way, it's got another season already approved after this one. And the fact that it's coming out this year, I'm actually really pleased at the quick turnaround.
Yeah, it's about a year and a half. It's not too bad.
Yeah,
because they also moved shooting from New York all the way to LA. So that was probably a lot.
Interesting. But yeah, hooray! More Fallout. Love it. I wonder when, what they called Virtuous comes out of nowhere with the Fallout 3 remastered Unreal Engine 5 graphical makeover to accompany this TV show release as a shadow drop.
It would
in
be
December.
Years away, probably.
Unless they had two teams, they are a very large.
Yeah, therefore, but a lot of them are working on TV shows like Fallout. They do a lot of Hollywood work.
Oh, come on, maybe this is a thing. We can but hope.
The rumor was the next thing they'd be working on is Fallout 3 remake, because that was in the leak, but it would be pretty far away.
I'll take it.
Maybe in time for episode 3 or season 3.
Next up in news, Blizzard's Overwatch team have completely unionized. I think we covered this on Thursday, or maybe we covered it in the podcast.
In the podcast, I'm pretty sure.
But I'm glad to see it. That's all 200 or so team members.
Wall to wall, every person.
Yeah, that's really, really good. And they've announced a Overwatch 2 collab with Street Fighter, of all things. And I think you just want to keep mentioning this because the trailer for it is pretty damn cool. I don't know if you're playing the aforementioned trailer.
I am. I'm also answering somebody asking me my ASL in Twitch chat.
That's been a good while, 25 years since I've been ASL'd. And I've replied, 16 female. No,
I'm 18 female Las Vegas.
There you go. Boom.
But yeah,
this looks cool.
So they've got the 8 skins. I'm guessing if you want to buy all of them, it's like $100. People will go, oh my god, but then they'll be like, that's what all these collabs are, because you're also paying Capcom on everything, so it's always going to cost more money when you get crossover IP stuff. It looks really cool. You got Juno as Chun-Li. You've got Widowmaker as Cammy, thighs and all. Not as big thighs as Cammy has in Street Fighter 6, but those thighs would... So the way they do it in Overwatch is it's not the character in the game. It's the characters who already are in the game cosplaying as those people. So it's just the Widowmaker model, but dressed up to look like Cammy without the blue skin and everything. I guess she figured out how to breathe again. It looks cool. The only one we get to see in the trailer is at the very end. You get to see Ryu, friggin' what's his name? Hanzo as Ryu. So I am curious how much it's going to change in game, because a big thing in hero shooters, especially with ults, is callouts. So when people are doing their ult, it sounds different for the team that's getting the benefit and the team that's being attacked. So whenever they add in big collabs like this, I am curious if they're also going to give them new callouts, because it's a thing you have to learn, so that you then know, this character is doing this move either for or against me. Has always been a thing. Like Junkrat's got a very different call out when God, I love his his Crazy Louie. I'm gonna give him an upvote. His friggin' thumbnails are hilarious. I'm gonna go over here, because he's on at the same time we are, but he goes all out with these thumbnails. They are fun. So I just give him a thumbs up. It just autoplayed the moment the Street Fighter one ended. It was like, hey. But yeah. So
it's good times.
They're fun, and sometimes you can spend money to make it so that people don't know what you're doing for a few weeks. It's very nice to meet you too, Frosty Litchi.
Next up in news, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 had a lovely preview event that we didn't attend. I think it was in Canada.
Yeah, it was in Montreal.
And that's fine. Times are tough. We're international press.
I have a passport.
I got a phone. You do. But yeah, it's all very positive sounding though. For the remake,
some big changes.
And look, I'm not a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater guy, so
really,
what are those big changes?
Wow,
are you shocked and surprised? I don't think you are.
Kinda. I don't know anyone who didn't at least like their IGN. You get an upvote because you've got footage I want to show. Also, thank you, IGN, for tweeting out and skeeting out Console Wars. You were might have been the only one. The big change. So 3 was the same. It was the 2 minutes, get your shit done, run, setup. 4 wasn't. 4 was more open level. Just go around, talk to people, get all the goals, you had to talk to people and then they give you the goal. Now in 4 you just have them, and it is the 2-minute time limit, and things have been reset by Iron Galaxy to make sense. But also, if you don't want that, you can either just set a 10-minute time limit or an hour-long time limit. You can just, like, I think it's a nice middle ground. Because it wasn't until Thug, which is the other half of this story, where Tony Hawk would really like Tony Hawk's Underground to be remastered. Probably not Underground 2, because Underground 2 was extremely Jackass heavy. Like, just straight up, all the guys from Jackass and Jackass Stories, and doesn't age the best for this day. Plus, you have to, work on licensing even more. Because like they had to completely redo all the music for this one, because obviously that's a pain in the butt. But yeah, it looks really good. I'm sure it's going to play really well because these games played fantastically on way worse hardware and controllers. So I am excited. We should be on the list for it. We're got a pretty good relationship with the Activision side of things, because I do think people don't always know that Microsoft, Activision, Bethesda all are separate PR companies to work with. So
they all do separate things in separate ways.
And unless you're in with the US side of things on Xbox, you're generally having to deal directly with each of them in their own ways, and we've got good relationships with each one.
Yeah, which is fine. I have to say, out of all of them, like from a pure generosity point of view, I've got to give a shout out to Bethesda in particular. Because those guys are like extremely communicative, really, really great to just deal with.
Activision
and I
US.
forgot to tell you, they did reach out again and just asked for some quote inclusion from your review, which obviously I said yes.
I normally tell them to go to heck. Yeah, Activision's very good in the US with like giving us 10 Call of Duty codes every year.
Yeah,
because it's a big multiplayer game, so helps to cover it.
Thanks, PR companies. You are much loved and probably a bit underappreciated in this crazy world. But yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It is coming June.
That was July.
Next month.
It's July.
It might be July. It sounds more like July. By the way, like it's not far, and it's kind of crazy how much stuff there's coming out. And good Lord, we still don't know what's in line for the last 6 months of the year.
July 11th. It probably has early access if you buy a deluxe edition, but I don't know.
Yeah. Good times. Next up in news, Xbox and Game Pass Ultimate have teamed up with Rainbow Six. And now there are elevated fan experiences to enjoy at Blast Rainbow Six events and various in-game benefits for Rainbow Six itself. Starting from Reload in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, it's weird. And the trailer with it is just a Game Pass trailer, so I was confused. I haven't found much more about this.
But yeah, the partnership kicks off at the Reload event in Rio de Janeiro, and it's all esports-ish related for the competitive debut of Rainbow Six Siege X. If you're unsure what that is, it's kind of like the next evolution of Rainbow Six Siege.
It's going free to play.
Yeah, and you can check out some of the more details of what that involves over on XboxEra.com. Just search Rainbow Six Siege X. But yes, there'll be key Game Pass activations at Blast Rainbow Six events. So the November Major, the Six Invitational. So these all sound centered around, I would say, think of this like Twitch drops when there's usually a competitive HCS Halo Championship Series tournament.
There's Twitch drops on Doom the Dark Ages right now. You can get a look for your Slayer.
Nice. But yeah, Game Pass Ultimate members will receive in-game benefits for Rainbow Six Siege X starting in June, with those benefits changing throughout the year to celebrate key milestones in the competitive season.
So that keeps it in Game Pass, because right now Rainbow Six is in Game Pass, but once it goes free to play, or 6, Siege is in Game Pass. So that's how they list things. They are a Game Pass game because you get rolling benefits for being in Game Pass for them. So that's why like Naraka Blade Point and a whole bunch of those other ones show up as Game Pass games now.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm seeing some folks. I've got to give a go at GSC Game Worlds. So I think he's like one of the PR guys for GSC Game Worlds and Stalker 2. People are discussing console wars, and he's just been like, there needs to be a battle pass. And I'm like, there is a battle pass card. And then he's replied with, oh, hopefully there'll be microtransactions. Like, there's also a microtransactions card. So it's always fun to see game devs and various games industry folk kind of get in on the puns of the game. So I love it. But there you go. That's Rainbow Six Siege. What else? He says as he scans the news.
This is the last thing I did right before we started the show. This next story.
Yeah, some sad news. If you were looking forward to Marvel 1943, which was tentatively pegged for 2025, then I'm afraid your hopes have been dashed as it's now been moved to early 2026. So that's Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, which is meant to have, and keep me honest here, Black Panther, Captain America, who else? There's one other person.
There's like the main characters are Captain America, Black Panther, and then there's a Wakandan lady and army man you can play as. Also, my transitions broke, so I can't actually go to show the video now.
Why did they break? But whilst you're figuring out why they break, I will continue to tell people about what this game is.
Got it.
It was announced, I think, last year with the 2025
Yeah, we got
launch
the
window.
incredible looking in-engine trailers. Yeah.
Yes.
They're
we'll
in
see.
engine, but much like and Digital Foundry went to bat for us saying, yes, they can call GTA 6 gameplay all they want. It's not what actual gameplay footage would be like. Actual gameplay footage is just showing someone playing the game, not running the game in your engine and recording it from different camera angles. It's like State of Decay 3. That is gameplay footage. That's someone that's in the game, but they're using different camera angles. It's not fully representative of what it's like to actually play the game. Still looks freaking incredible, and you know it will be by the time it comes out. It's just marketing beats to call it gameplay.
Decay 3 is this year.
Nah, they don't need it to be.
They don't need it to be, but what if it is? But anyway, Skydance New Media's Amy Hennig is producing this one. We've had a tech demo kind of come out during GDC 2024. I mean, if you're a big Marvel fan, you were probably really looking forward to this, but hey ho, the wait must go on. I wonder how many, like what the scramble is behind the scenes where GTA 6 has now been given a May 2026 date. Are people like, oh, let's see if we can rush and beat, and come out this side of Christmas? Like, is there those conversations? I imagine so.
Yeah, for the most part, it would just be, well, we were holding off because we didn't know exactly when. But now it is. How do we think? And a lot of times it's also going to be, it's unavoidable for your time frames are still your time frames, and it's really hard to move them around that much.
Yeah, it's often like when you see big delays, like especially if someone's signed, like I think one of the most infamous ones was with Halo Infinite. It had signed a bunch of like energy drink marketing deals, and they're already in production, and you're delaying the game. Now what do we do? And they had to kind of like, here's some codes that you'll get stuff in a year when that code comes out. Sorry about that, everybody. All these things to juggle and think about. But yeah, when things change like that and people think on the fly, the world and developers and the economy has to react. Much like when President of the United States, Donald Trump, apparently totally blinked and the tariffs have kind of all changed again now. It looks like he's caved and nothing's really changed. And if you're listening to this and going, no, things did change. No, they didn't.
They did. They got worse for America, essentially.
Apart from everybody lost loads of money.
And like Brazil and a lot of other countries are all like, we're going to really work hard with China now because we can trust that they won't lose their minds.
Yeah. But yes, no manufacturing appears to particularly have moved back to the United States.
There was no time
and
for that
there's
anyways.
still a 30% tariff. And even now, even though this is hey, this is the new deal, it's a 90-day pause. So what, is he going to change his mind again in 90 days?
Yeah, that's always a problem. It's just there's too much uncertainty, which just blows.
And there's apparently a tariff deal now between the UK and the US, but when the UK counts for like 3% of your entire trading block, it's like, who cares? Well, I think we're like the 11th biggest.
Yeah, and it was like aluminum and stuff,
States.
and that's going to
whatevs.
That's just going to actually raise prices on stuff. It didn't actually help America at all.
Yeah, America first, Joe. God, what a nightmare this world is. In other news, I hadn't read this one.
It's just gone live from everybody.
Wow.
They put out a statement.
Breaking news, Microsoft is cutting 3% of its entire workforce.
A little later than normal. They normally do it in January. Oof, so it would be 3% of 228,000-ish people.
So what is that? What's the math on that? 2,000?
Well, 3% would be 3,000, 6,000. So you're like 6.5, 7-ish maybe.
Wow.
Not good. But it's across everything. So no idea how it's going to affect the gaming.
Well, according to CNBC, the maker of Windows, Word, and Xbox is aiming to reduce management layers. So I often regard that as not a bad thing, because there's far too much middle management in the world. But obviously, I don't want anybody really to lose their jobs. Which is bad news.
Yeah, 6,800 people-ish.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot. So yes,
it's
Microsoft
also
have announced
it's happening a lot across because of all of the economic uncertainty we are facing, where you're seeing like companies are cutting back on extraneous business expenses like holding fan fests and stuff. So a lot of companies are just like, oh, cool, the economy is going, woo, let's cut everything we can and try and weather this storm.
Yeah, I mean, we say that.
Fire people button.
Microsoft have said, we'll continue to implement organizational changes necessary to best position the company for success in a dynamic marketplace. A Microsoft spokesperson said
dynamic
in a statement
marketplace.
to CNBC. However, as referenced here by CNBC, the company reported better than expected results and an upbeat quarterly forecast in late April. So this is the largest round of layoffs since the elimination of 10,000 roles in 2023. In January, we had a little announcement of some layoffs that were performance-based, and now we've got new job cuts that are not related to performance. So this is just, we want to reduce layers of management. This sucks. So take the console wars out of it for a minute. We have a company here that's worth trillions of dollars that said a couple of weeks ago, great quarter, everything's great, we made more money, and we're actually looking to make more money next quarter, and they're just about to fire nearly 7,000 people. Yep.
That's why corporations are never your friends.
This is shit. In this economy, in this current state of the world, this sucks. And the frustrating thing about all of this nonsense is their share price will be rewarded. All of their shareholders will make more money because of this announcement, not less. I have nothing good to say. This is terrible.
Nope. And once it starts, then it just rolls and everyone's like, oh, I can do it too. So
I hate it. I hate it. Our world is kind of Donald Ducks right now.
What do you mean? You don't like Keir Starmer? He's going great. People love him. His house,
got the personality
his front
and
door,
lovability of a sandwich, a cheese sandwich. Some people like cheese sandwiches, but he's not great.
Moldy
as a
cheese.
Person. Yeah, maybe really stinky, kind of like smells a bit like vomit cheese. I don't know. That is some horrible.
Yeah, and it can be a legitimate. Yes, we just have more people than we need type of thing, but also find things to do with them because you're making so much money that you can would be what we would think, but it's just not the way businesses work. They just simply don't do that. They don't care.
Random question. Well, we've got some of the community here with us. How would you guys feel if XboxEra changed its name? I'm just floating this. I'm just randomly.
We've talked about it before, mostly just because we have somebody else's IP in our name, and you can't really do that long term.
But also, I'm thinking about considering like the nature of the way the industry is going, and especially Microsoft's particular push to be on everything.
Mm-hmm.
One name that was kind of floated internally here, and I'm just sharing this because why not? Is we've already got an application named Day One, so we were like, what about Play Day One? What about that? Because it kind of covers anything and everything, and yet it's still using a kind of like and we'd still all be us. It'd be the same content, just slightly different.
Yeah, Nick would still focus on Nintendo. The rest of us would still mostly use Xbox and PC.
Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud because I would love to. It would give us a lot more flexibility as well in terms of what we can cover. Because most of the time you're not going to go to XboxEra.com for Nintendo news or PlayStation news, and so on and so on. I wonder what that would do for like site authority and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's always the dangerous part. We've been struggling just to get XboxEra up in the searches, so it would be tough if it's rebuilding completely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's some interesting, some people saying, hey, as long as it, good idea, sounds like a smart move. Abdul says, disappointed Xbox first party output going multi-platform doesn't degrade the meaning of the brand for me. Xbox still holds meaning.
It's not even about the brand. It is mostly because we have somebody else's brand in our name.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
That's probably not a good idea in the long term. No. It's one of the other reasons, we put Booth Babe Games on the box for Console Wars is because do I want to kind of hoo-ha the Xbox name? Will people automatically think, is this an Xbox thing? No. So
had a person in chat earlier who was asking me to help with their headphones, like we're Xbox.
Yeah.
We're not. As you can tell by this layout. We would be in a studio and much more professional if we were.
Yeah, with loads of money.
And makeup on.
And then we'd all be fine. Last bit of news of the day. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 devs have given the keys to the kingdom to modders. They've now given the modding community the game's internal editor to basically create anything that they want, be it a customized campaign. We've already seen, I think, last week, there are 12-player MMO-like raids that have now been made by modders, which is freaking awesome. The game director, Dmitry Gigorenko, handed players the keys to the game's internal editor to give the game Skyrim levels of post-launch support.
Yeah.
Saber Interactive have promised years of additional updates, and I think there's things like a horde mode planned, but now on PC, you can kind of create anything you can possibly think of, which is pretty freaking great. Yeah,
it's a fantastic game. It's a really nice... imagining the modders they give this to aren't going to miss the point on the story of Warhammer and all that, like a lot of the fans online have, oddly enough. But fantastic game. Really enjoyed it. Probably not the type to go in and do like full-on modded community stuff, but it's really good that it's there for those who would. It also does show just how good Bethesda has been with support for that over the years, because I imagine making the creation engine toolkit and all that type of stuff, the amount of work that goes into that is not inconsequential. So it's always nice to see more companies trying to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. But there you go. That's pretty much all of the news, folks. So as always, a pleasure hanging out with the community and chit-chatting through all of the events.
I will be back later to make up for yesterday's incredibly short stream because the internet was bad after a big storm. It's better today. So I was planning to make it up and play the Doom, the Dark Ages that I was planning to yesterday, but only got an hour done. And that hour was mostly people just seeing me stutter.
Ugh. bad times.
Mhm.
Yeah. Fingers crossed it's all resolved and working now. We'll be back on Thursday with more headlines. And as always, keep your eyes tuned and locked and browsers clicking on XboxEra.com for all the latest and greatest in Xbox news. I will be writing up the layoffs news in a moment. And lastly, as per the beginning of the show, Console Wars, the card game, our own creation that helps fund our publication and our dreams, is out now and available to buy for all of your console warring needs on Amazon.com in the US and Amazon.co.uk in the UK, but they ship to Mexico, Canada, and the rest of Europe. So if you love us, please do consider picking up a copy, dropping a Amazon review, be it good or bad, just after honest thoughts and feedback. And
title it, Here's My Honest Opinion.
Yeah, do it as a YouTube style. And if you really love what we do, consider, as always, supporting us directly on Patreon by heading to patreon.com/XboxEra. Until then, play video games, enjoy some Doom, whatever takes your fancy. Ciao for now.
Today has no meaning. It's alone and anonymous. Written in his cells, he's got the marks of a genius. I'm looking for this man to sell him to other men, to sell him to other men, to make us rich and famous. Walk you up the target. Do you break the line? Free, slowly spread the net, and before you catch the man, you catch the man. I'm looking for this man to sell him to other men, sell him to other men. 10 times his price at least. I'm looking for this man who knows news of the game, who's able to forget them, to realize my aim. One, you lock the target. Two, you break the line. Break the line, spread the net, catch the man.